My name is Jessica Roberts, and I want to look at the obesity epidemic as well as solutions to help solve the problem we are facing in America today. Obesity in the United States continues to rise. Unfortunately, this map has become all too common for both students and the general population to see. Today, over 50% of Americans are overweight or obese. This is leading to many problems such as an increase in chronic diseases. Fatty liver disease is on the rise. Heart disease is on the rise. Diabetes is on the rise. We need to start asking ourselves, is obesity our future? Is this where America will continue to go? Or should we look at obesity as public enemy number one and start to come up with solutions for how to help treat it? In order to understand obesity, we first need to understand what factors relate to a person's weight. We'll start with genetics. Multiple studies have shown that genetics are one of the most influential aspects tied to a person's weight. In fact, it's been said that the only more heritable trait than weight is someone's height. This is an amazing factor and has been shown multiple times, whether it's through twin studies or parent-child studies. Even when there are no other factors looked at, genetics can still lead to an increased weight. The environment in which one lives also has a big influence on people's weight, both those choices that are made at home as well as where one lives. Choices such as breastfeeding or having dinner together as a family every night can help decrease obesity rates. Where one lives also has an impact. Some places have more parks or less parks, or more access to healthy food versus less. African Americans and Latinos have a 1 in 2 chance of being overweight or obese, and this is partially because of their environment. Lifestyle can also contribute to weight. Today, only 48% of Americans report meeting the physical activity guidelines, and 22.9% of people report that they get no physical activity in their lives. We also now have much different food habits than there used to be. There's more food eaten away from home. There's more restaurant food being consumed. There's an increase in candy and in sugary beverages. There's also been an increase in amount of television that's watched. Back in 1950, only 10% of people had a television in their home, whereas today 98% have a television in their home. With all these factors working against a person's weight, how do we start to fix obesity? Many people would say the answer is very simple. All you have to do is to put people on a diet. And yet, diet after diet after diet has not worked. We've seen people say, eat no carbs, eat all carbs, eat no protein, eat all protein. Start by only drinking things. Go on a cleanse to where it cleans out all the toxins in your bodies that are causing you to be fat. There's even trends coming out weekly that many people subscribe to, thinking it's a healthier way of life. Yet most diets just lead to confusion, and most people who have gone on a diet will regain their weight within 1 to 2 years. Bariatric surgery has been shown to be very effective for the sickest of the sick. Generally, a person must have a BMI greater than 40 to qualify for bariatric surgery. While there are many risks, the benefits are enormous. It helps decrease weight as well as decrease diabetes. In fact, multiple diabetes educators and researchers have found that bariatric surgery is one of the few cures for type 2 diabetes. The government has even begun stepping in. The National Institutes for Health, the FDA, and the FTC have all put different guidelines in place to help this. In 2010, the Federal Trade Commission subpoenaed major food companies about their ads to children. The National Institutes of Health spend about $800 million per year on obesity research. The FDA are putting guidelines in for all restaurants with 20 or more locations to post calories on their menus. while these will not solve the problem of obesity, it's helping people become more aware of the problem. Looking at all the possible causes that lead to obesity, as well as some of the things that have worked to help obesity, I've had a new idea. It's similar to some and yet novel as well. And it has to do with getting food to those who need it most. During May of this year, I was lucky enough to be an intern with Jefferson County in Colorado. Jefferson County is the second most populous county in Colorado, second only to Denver, to which it borders. During my rotation at Jefferson County, I was able to sit down one-on-one with the epidemiologist and talk about some of the problems facing the county, specifically some of the problems that are leading to the obesity rate among those who are lower income in their county. One of the main problems that she pointed out to me was the grocery problem. The fact is, those people who need healthy food the most are those who cannot get the healthy food. In the areas that had the lowest socioeconomic status as well as the highest obesity rates were zoned for fast food and not for grocery stores. No stores were within walking distance. Many were up to 2 to 3 miles away from the closest neighborhoods. Not only this, those neighborhoods oftentimes only had one car for the family or even no cars for the family. So you would think, oh, they can just take the bus. However, none of the buses have stops that stop at a grocery store. In fact, most stop over a mile away from a grocery store. Ever since I heard of this problem, I couldn't help but think, how could this problem be solved? What are feasible ways to help with this issue? It's not that these people don't want to be eating healthy. In fact, some of these people are on food stamps and can't even use their food stamps monthly because they can't get to a grocery store to use them. My first solution would be to offer free delivery. In our area, most major grocers now offer home delivery services. All you have to do is get online, place your order, and then they will come to you and deliver your food. However, currently, it does cost money for this service, and you must pay with a credit card. If these delivery services were able to partner with the community and give free delivery to those who qualified based on income, as well as accepting food stamps for these home deliveries, people could have their food brought directly to their home. They could use their food stamps on the healthy produce that their family needs, as well as other non-prepared items that they can buy with their food stamps. They wouldn't have to worry about getting to the grocery store or even taking time away from their kids. They could have it brought directly to their homes. Many of these grocers already have programs in place that are trying to partner to help the community, and especially those in the community who are at greater need. But by proposing this change to store policy, it's very possible that a huge impact could be made with very low cost to the grocers. In fact, many governments may offer a grant program to someone willing to do this service. The second solution is much like the food trucks that are in places like New York, where they open up their produce trucks. However, it's slightly different. In those trucks, often it's only local produce, and it's only produce. It also often goes to major shopping areas to open their doors. However, often the local produce can be more expensive, because the farmers are unwilling to go to lower prices. Also, sometimes they're only during daylight hours. Most people who need the food the most work. These food trucks do much less good than they could. My proposition would be that not only would produce be included in trucks, but so would other healthy food items. There would have to be requirements for what food could be sold from these trucks. I would suggest partnering with local farmers who are willing to sell their produce at a discount, much like they do during the farmers markets when they accept food stamps and give those using food stamps a discount on their produce. I would also suggest things such as whole grains or whole grain pasta to be sold on these trucks, as well as other basic items that families need for their families. Along with these food trucks, people could go and show how to use the healthy food that is being sold there. But one of the major problems that I stated earlier with these trucks is where and when they go. I would suggest these food trucks go multiple places, including Section 8 housing areas, churches, or local parks, which in this area there are numerous parks near all areas of where people live. If these food trucks would go directly to these areas, it would be able to reach those who need it most and those who can't get to the grocery store. Not only this, I would suggest they go on weekends or weeknights after 6 or 7 p.m. at night. Most families are struggling to make ends meet. Because they're struggling to make ends meet, they often have multiple jobs or are working all day. By putting these trucks there at night and during the weekends, it would allow those who are working the hardest to actually be able to shop for their family and choose healthy foods rather than the fast food that many of them must pick up on their way home just to feed their family. Obesity continues to be a growing problem. These are just some of the many sources we have seen this semester. Genetics and the environment have the largest impact. The lifestyle habits and policies also contribute. Many people and organizations are beginning to address the problem. However, not one policy or one change will solve the problem. However, many small ideas can help to decrease the epidemic and help America decrease its waistline.